Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Coil Raiden in Grand Theft Auto Online. This vehicle is of course discounted this week. Today is the last day that you can actually purchase it, and we're going to be finding out if you actually should purchase it or not. And a little spoiler alert, I would probably say no, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and upgrade the armor. Starting off, brakes, let's do those as well. For the engine, we're going to go all the way up on that. Now, let's see, does this thing have turbo or transmission? It does not, of course, because it's electric. So next up, we got to do the bumpers. Now, for the bumpers, we have the primary color splitter, secondary color splitter, or the carbon splitter. I think I'm going to go for the carbon sort of body kit on this thing. We could also do the secondary color, though. Might be kind of interesting. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do the secondary color splitter. Let's do that. For the rear diffuser, we can do the street or the race. I think the race is a little more aggressive. You know what, maybe for the front we should go carbon, because I think it is carbon on the rear if I'm not mistaken. So let's do that. For the hood, we got the secondary stripe hood, which I believe would just make a stripe through the middle. Let's actually just check this really quick. Let's make that spinnaker purple right quick. And yeah, so that's what it would look like. Honestly, not actually that bad looking in my opinion. I think it's actually kind of a unique upgrade for the car, so that's kind of cool. For the secondary color though, we will go back to the ice white, I think. Or actually, maybe we should, you know what? Maybe we should do it in a black. I think it looks really nice in a black to like kind of offset it. Let's do that. That looks kind of sweet. Okay, next up for the headlights, we got xenon lights. We're going to go for those. Neon layout, we're going to go all the way around because God knows this thing needs help when it comes to handling. So we'll do that. For the mirrors, we can do secondary or carbon stylized mirrors. Let's go secondary to match up with all that secondary accenting that we're going to do. Yellow and black for the plate. For the respray, honestly, I really do not mind the white with the black. I think it actually looks really, really good. At the same time, I've never really done a Coil Raiden build in a color that's like sort of exciting or like bright. So I would be kind of interested in doing something like that today, but I just don't know what color to actually make it. You know what, maybe we'll go for, we're going to do something weird today. We're going to do a gasoline green, and I'm going to do a dew yellow pearlescent on it. No, I'm not. Never mind. It looks really bad. My fault. I was feeling pretty confident about that, but yeah, no, it does not look that good. Maybe we'll go for, man, a racing blue? I don't know. I want to go for something like mildly exciting. Could go for like a dark blue. That could be kind of cool. What if we went for like a desert tan or something like that? Something like way different. Doesn't really look good, but doesn't look horrible either. Oh man, why is it so hard to pick colors, man? Once you've been playing GTA for a long time, once you've done enough car customization videos, you really start to realize like we do not have that many options in this game. It's actually very limiting. We're going to go light blue for the color today, and then for the pearlescent on that, I think that I'm actually going to remove it because I don't want the black secondary to get affected by the weird pearlescent like overspill, if that makes sense. So we're going to leave that alone. For the skirts, we can go primary skirts. We can also go for some secondary skirts as well. We will go for some secondary skirts. I think it's kind of nice looking. I think it kind of fits nicely with the front bumper aggression there, and then for the rear diffuser, I think it's okay as well. So we'll do that. Now for the spoiler options, they're completely awful with this car. They all look absolutely horrible. Now, I definitely don't want to put a spoiler on, do not get me wrong, but I'm actually curious to see how this car handles with a spoiler option on it, because I don't think I've actually ever given it a fair shot and driven it with a spoiler option. So we're going to try this today. We're also going to go street suspension to lower it a little bit to try to make it just a little bit better as well. For the wheels, ooh, what if we went, oh wow, oh, the wheels are white on this. Oh, interesting. I actually, for some reason, don't hate that. I really don't hate that. Should we TE the Tesla? I think that we might have to. I feel bad for the TEs a little bit, but I think that the endos are pretty awesome actually on this car. I have to say, I think they look good on anything, so it's not really a shock. Maybe we should go chrome endo V1s though, instead of colored, or maybe we should, oh, wait a minute. What if we did them in like a black to match the secondary accent? Yeah, we'll do that. Bulletproof the tires for sure. Windows, let's tint them all the way out. Let's just murder this thing out. It looks pretty good. I'm not too displeased with this. Let's take it outside. We're gonna do a review on the car and find out how it drives now. I am a bit of a Coil Raiden hater. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't like this car. But maybe with the spoiler option today, maybe it will do well. Of course, this thing is electric, so when you do a handbrake and then you like boost, the front wheels will spin. This happens with like every electric car in the game, so keep that in mind. So the best way to launch with this thing is just to literally just press the accelerate button, and that's the way to go. Now, my biggest issue with the Coil Raiden is one, that it's an electric car, because, and not because like I just hate electric cars or whatever, like I do, but it's because all electric cars in GTA have very similar handling characteristics, and that's to say that they handle very badly. They understeer really horribly, and then they have like snap oversteer randomly, like midway through understeering through a corner. Like they're very annoying to drive. They have a very strange handling balance. It's taxing to drive them. They're not fun, with the exception of things like maybe the Ocelot Virtue and the Omni EGT that I reviewed yesterday. Other than that, I think pretty much every other electric car in the game is pretty trash handling wise. There's not many that are very good. The Coil Cyclone is actually an exception as well. The Coil Cyclone 2 though is absolutely terrible. So it's like, it's not even just like the supercars that are good and then like, you know, the lower tier sedans or whatever that aren't, you know, as good, or sports cars, whatever. They all just seem to have handling issues, and the Coil Raiden is historically one that I have genuine hatred for. Like maybe I went a little too fast around that corner, but I could have gone around that corner at the same speed in pretty much any other car, and I think it would have been totally fine. Now I will say the spoiler option is helping a lot, but that's pretty sad because it still handles absolutely awfully. Like it understeers so hard there that you hit the barrier. It's trash. I hate it so much. The one thing that this car does well is accelerate, but it accelerates up to a really low top speed. Again, because it's an electric car, they don't ever have high top speeds. So, I mean, that's always going to be an issue with electric vehicles in real life or in GTA. It's just a fact. They can't keep going at a fast pace for very long. They lose a lot of their energy, you know, accelerating up to the fast pace and then also maintaining it. So it's just a thing. It's realistic, you know, good on Rockstar for being realistic in that sense. But yeah, these cars are just not that good to drive. Now, I must say this is the most pleasing experience I've ever had with the Coil Raiden driving it. It's actually not doing that horribly, all things considered. And I'm saying that having been launched, you know, into a barrier and over a barrier throughout this review. So that's considered a good day for the Coil Raiden. So that kind of goes to show you the level we're operating at here. Now I will say the spoiler option has seemed to fix a little bit of the snap oversteer, and it also seems to have fixed a tiny bit of the understeer. Now the rear end is actually coming around how you would kind of want it to, driving it this quickly. It's definitely feeling a lot more manageable with the spoiler option. Now of course the con to this is that the spoiler options for this vehicle all look absolutely terrible. So that's something you're going to have to deal with if you want the Coil Raiden to perform to the best of its ability, is an ugly spoiler, which in my opinion kind of ruins the whole look of the car. I think this thing actually isn't that bad looking without the spoiler option, but the spoiler option just makes it not very great. I mean, it just doesn't work, you know what I mean? So that's really annoying. I'm trying to be positive about it though. Like the acceleration is really good. Off the line, it does launch, you know, really hard. I mean, it'll out accelerate a lot of vehicles up to, you know, 60, and then after that it'll probably get passed by a lot of those same vehicles, just because it has a really low top speed. I would say that the top speed of this thing is sub 120. I'd be shocked if it was over 120, to be completely honest. And I just don't think it even is close to that number. I think it probably tops out at like 115, something like that, which in GTA That's pretty bad. So not a very good top speed. It does have really good acceleration though, up to about 60 miles per hour, or about halfway to its top speed. And even going up to top speed, like, it's not terrible. The handling is by far the biggest issue that I have with this vehicle though. It just cannot turn very well. It's not convincing, and especially in like high speed corners, like up by Devin Weston's house there, for example, where we just were a few minutes ago. It just can't keep up with a lot of other vehicles. Like, for example, the Omni EGT, which is also on sale this week, it can actually make it around that corner, and it is a fully electric vehicle. So, you know, there are better ones and there are worse ones. This thing is almost the same price as the EGT this week, but the EGT also has an armor plating upgrade, it has Imani tech, it has an oil slick proximity mine dropper. It looks better, it's got an active rear spoiler, it's got more customization. Like, I just can't see why you would buy a Coil Raiden this week over an Omni EGT. And if you already have an Omni EGT, buy another one instead of buying a Coil Raiden. This vehicle is genuinely, I feel like, a waste of your time. It's just not convincing enough to be worth spending the $825,000 that it costs right now while it's on sale, keep in mind. This thing is I think 1.4 million at regular times, but of course it is a removed vehicle, so there is that is something to be said about it. If you are interested in picking up a Coil Raiden, it is removed, so that might mean something to you. But I'd say just buy another Omni EGT. I think it's just the better vehicle, and for only 200 grand extra, it's like light years better. It's way more useful. It's got the same 4 seats. It's electric. It still accelerates like crazy, but at least you're protected, you know? So it's got some functionality to it. I don't really have much else to say about the Coil Raiden other than that I'm disappointed, like I am every time that I drive this car. It's not a very good vehicle, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video on the Coil Raiden, the customization and review. If you enjoyed, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Comment down below, let me know what you think of the Coil Raiden. Do you agree that it's one of the worst handling cars ever? Let me know. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.